A pastor from Wentworth, just outside Durban in KwaZulu-Natal, has joined forces with fathers from the community to fix the local swimming pool, which has become neglected and overrun by rats and other vermin. And they are prepared to do it out of their own pockets. It seems the only problem is the local municipality, which they say is stopping or thwarting their efforts. Let's find out what's going on with Pastor David Usher. Pastor Usher, good evening to you and welcome to Full View. This is a remarkable story of a community saying, let's not wait for government, let's do it ourselves. What sparked it?
Good evening, and thank you for having us on the show this afternoon. As a community, we last year, during the month of October, anticipated that with the hot summer ahead of us, we would have to make an opportunity available to see if our kids could utilize the local swimming pool. The swimming pool had been closed since early last year and had opened in the early parts of the year, January, February, intermittently. And the excuse that we were receiving was that the municipality didn't have enough funds to buy chemicals in order to keep the water suitable for use by the children. So we approached the municipality and offered to make those chemicals available for as long as the summer months would continue. We were then responded to by them saying to us that it's not only the chemicals that is a problem, but also that the pipes were rusty, and so when doing backwashes, the rust would get into the water, and so for that reason, they didn't have a budget to repair it, and that was the reason the pool was closed. So we had been speaking to corporates around the community to assist us in this so that we could get this pool up and running. So 2 days ago, one of our colleagues, one of our activists, took it upon himself to go and make a video of the condition of the pool outside, and through the locked gates, also videoed what was happening inside, where the grass was overgrown inside and outside of the facility.
Right.
At the front of the entrance, vagrants were sleeping there, and at one stage almost burned the place down. So we decided that the next day we were going to converge on the premises, start a cleanup, and then call on municipality to meet us at the facility so that we could assess as community what are the holdups, what are the difficulties, and what is broken. In so doing, we would assess what values were to be put to the repair, and with our local community members and the corporates around the community, we would fund this project on our own to make sure that this pool is up and running.
David, talk to us about, before we get back to the municipality, and what their response has been to this idea that you would all get together and try and do this and get some financial support from the private sector. Talk to us about the level of support that met this idea from the other fathers in the community, and some of the skills that you say you're ready to pull together to get this done.
Okay, so we live in a community where there are many people that are involved in engineering. So the area that they say that is rusted is that way inclined with regards to engineering. So we've got fathers that have worked on refineries and other plants that are quite au fait with what is needed with regards to the engineering and the piping of the pool. So when this was flighted on Facebook, many of the fathers in the community who are familiar with this pool, and as kids, 6- and 7-year-old kids, we all swam in that pool. They all came down and agreed that we are going to work together to make this a success. And so when we came into the pool, so men from the engineering trade, men from plumbing, men from building, men from cleaning, all different walks of life and different skills came together and decided that we can do this on our own. And all we just need is for the city to give us permission to go in, assess the damages, and put our hands to the plow and make sure that the place is properly repaired.
So that's really beautiful that this kind of call was put out, this predicament was shared, and so many people rallied around it. We know, David, that government has a responsibility to take care of public projects, maintain infrastructure. It seems something's gone wrong here. You mentioned the response that you got from the municipality was a dearth of funds. We're hoping to get a right of reply from the local municipality and the infrastructure MEC's office and social development to see what they have to say. But when you brought this idea and converged, and we're showing our viewers picture of some of the interactions on their screen, what was the response to the fact that you were saying, we don't want your money, we don't even need your resources, just cut through the red tape, give us permission to do this for ourselves?
Well, firstly, we were visited by the local law enforcement of the municipality because they were told that we were violent and that we had held somebody hostage. All we did was ask the supervisor not to leave until somebody from municipality would come out and hear our cry. When the law enforcement came on the scene, they discovered that there was nothing violent. They themselves took videos and then posted it to their superiors, made a few calls, and then the superiors themselves gave commitment that they were going to come and see us later on in the day. But while they were leaving, we had Metro Police arrive on the scene. The first band of Metro Police wasn't worried about what law enforcement had to say. They came and were very hostile. I think one of the video clips that we sent shows that the one guy was really hostile. And then a few moments later, 5 other vans converged on the same premises and told us these guys were armed and they had a bulletproof vest. And then they told us that they were told that there's violence and there's hostage situations taking place, and for this reason, they have come onto the premises. So we had to wait until later on in the afternoon, where one of the senior managers, Mr. Hlanhla Buthelezi, arrived at the scene, and he asked me what was the reason for our engagement. And so I explained to him how the community wasn't interested in getting any money from the municipality. Neither were we wanting them to do the work. We as the community were prepared to fund it from our own pockets and from the private sector. And all we just needed was a meeting with them to allow us to get into, especially the filtration room, to assess what the damages were.
So where are we tonight, David, just in a sentence, on what the municipality and how far they're able and willing to work with you on getting this done?
Okay, we actually had a meeting with them today. Myself, another activist, Neil Axford, and then our local councillor, Mr. Aubrey Snyman. We went and met with Mr. Buthelezi, and then one of the managers, Ms. Zola Ndlovu, and it was all about red tape. It was about how they can't let us in, how there's so many things they have to go through before they can give us permission to assess the damages. It was just a runaround. And my assessment at the end of the meeting, I told the chairperson, who was Mr. Buthelezi, that you wasted our time. Right. Everything I said to him the day before, we repeated in the meeting today, and we didn't get any progress.
Okay, so well, let's see what happens, David, and I'm so sorry to kind of just edge you forward. We'll see what happens from the municipal side and the red tape side. But just very quickly before we end, the Wentworth community is stymied by the proliferation of drugs and gangs and violence. But it is also about hope and about activism, about trying to create an environment of upward mobility and progress. Given this complexity, how important is a facility like a public swimming pool to you and to the children in that community?
In this community, we don't really have many facilities to accommodate our children, especially in the summer. We have a local beach close by, but it's infested with sewage, and so the kids can't swim there. We have very few or none, no parks in our area. And so the pool is a place, especially in the summer, for our kids to spend a lot of time, and it's a safe environment. What happens is our children are on the streets, and then there's a lot of shootings and drive-bys that are taking place, and what happens is our kids get caught in the crossfire. So for us, this is not just a little recreation place for them, but it's a safe place for our children to find themselves, especially during the school holidays.
All right.
And so for the city to take so long to address this issue is a big problem for us as a community.
David, Pastor David Usher, thank you for talking to us and sharing the story of what's happening in the Wentworth community, how they're rallying around, trying to get this pool done. We will definitely get a right of reply from the municipality and see what can be done to finally get the water clean and the children inside having fun.